Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so SEO. So starting off, regardless of your outreach strategy, you want to make sure that your on-page SEO is on point. So pretty much on-page SEO, if you can bold that down, that's keyword.
Well, just throw it, chunk it.
Here we go. Keyword optimization. So kind of going back to the example of Dave Hunter, his target keyword is DWI lawyer, Sugarland. That's what he wants to rank at the top for. So making sure we go through the website and that keyword is prominent I should say, in the page titles. We want to make sure your alt tags. So these are like a tag that's associated with images. And basically, let's say you're visually impaired, it'll tell you what the picture is about. Meta descriptions, not really important for SEO, but more kind of a free advertising thing. So let's say you Google online marketing agency Houston, and eWeb comes up there. The meta description is that little snippet under it. So we want to make sure that it entices someone to click. So we want to use like some really good copywriting strategy. So page titles, alt tags, meta description, and just you want it to be prominent in your content. So if Google indexes that page, it knows exactly what it's about. So that's pretty much regardless of your outreach strategy. You got to start there, because if you don't have your on page right, it's kind of like building a good big house in quicksand.
So when we were looking at that law firm, remember I did that SEO Quake, and it showed that they had no alt tags and they had no meta description, and I brought that up for them. Mm-hmm. And remember we were talking about on-page SEO? Mm-hmm. That's what that was. Yeah. And so there's a little button that you can just press to see what it looks like, and there's other stuff you can do to zero in on it a little bit more, but this is real quick. Mm-hmm. Of like what you would be doing is not changing it, just finding it, or looking at it and going, this doesn't look right. You know what I mean? So
just again, learning meta description, metadata, like that's basically, I mean, you're embedding that, right? I mean, is that so that way it comes up when, you know, is that kind of what?
Right. So all of our websites, I believe, are WordPress. Uh-huh. So yeah, you're going to put that in on the back end, and then it'll show up on the Google site. Yeah.
It's not on the website. It's just embedded into it.
Embedded into it. Exactly.
Okay. That's all. That. Yesterday I was always trying to find a relation. It's no different than like taking a picture and putting the metadata in there, so that way when someone Googles that picture, even though that picture has nothing written on it, it's into the picture.
Exactly.
So it's the same concept. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and one last point, I'm glad you mentioned that. So, and this is probably even more important these days, is schema. So a good example of schema, if you ever like Google a restaurant or hotel, and you'll see like the rating kind of in the search result.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, basically that's schema in action. So
where it's almost pulling from like Yelp or Google or all the
Right. But you know, there are a lot more other examples of schema. I mean, even for like law firm, there's a schema just for law firms. So it really can get very detailed, but luckily you don't have to be a developer to put that stuff in. There are a lot of good plugins. You just say, hey, this is a law firm, this is the schema I need, so put it on my website. So yeah. So I always just use the plugins.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I invited the other content writers to come in,
cool.
Just because I feel like you're just giving a pretty good overview, and why not if they're not?
Okay, cool. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
So that's the basic stuff. So outreach, the fun part. So outreach, you can pretty much break it down into white hat.
You might have to go over there. Sorry, you're in our room.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
And let's back up. We'll get into the outreach piece in a minute. Why don't you focus on like eWeb content strategy, we can talk about siloing a little bit or whatever. Just kind of give them a little bit of from a content standpoint, an overview of like what your thoughts are on like just basic layout of blog without looking at it. Just to they got another call in a little bit,
Okay,
but just we'll kind of move it around. Yeah.
Sure. So I'll let me just create some space here. I'll just erase this like that. So content strategy and for eWeb. So are you all familiar kind of with the Onpage piece? I need to.
Onpage.
Yeah, like page title optimization,
Oh,
keyword
yeah.
optimization. Is that? Let's go over it.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, so whenever you're writing like a blog content or anything like that, or any content on a website, the important part, make it readable for the readers, but the second part, you want to think about your on-page SEO. And so for whatever keyword that you're targeting for that content, so let's say this week we're writing a review of South by Southwest.
Which we should do.
You want to make sure that your keyword is in that page title, so the little part that's in the browser. You want to make sure that's in your meta description, so if you Google it, the little snippet there, and you want to make sure that your images are related to that keyword and that the alt tags.
Oh,
outside
okay,
that
yeah.
keyword.
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I have been doing that.
Okay, yeah, so we're good there. So aside from that, one great way to boost the topical relevancy, the authority of a website is to create what's called a silo. So let's, kind of going back to the South by Southwest example. So we will have a 2018 South by Southwest.
We know you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so pretty much how that will break down, you want to have your pillar piece.
And what's pillar?
Sure. So this is really, your goal here is to create the best piece of content online for that particular topic. And typically what that means for Google is content length. So here we're going for long form, 1,500 to 2,000 words. But at a minimum, let's say if it's a local business we're working with, 750 would be a good start. So I'll put that here. Optimal 1,500, 2,000 words. Admin, 750. Okay. And then in that piece, you want to, again, make it the best. So stats, research, pictures, infographics, like really you want to go out. And this is something that you really want to rank for. So we wanted to rank for internet podcasting. We would probably want to have a pillar page for a podcast. Now under that pillar piece, you're going to have 4 supporting articles. I like to say 4, but you can use 3 to 4 of supporting articles. And in these supporting articles, you want to focus on specific topics that you cover in a pillar piece. So let's say your pillar piece was South by Southwest. One of the main topics this year was augmented reality. So you want to have a piece just on augmented reality, what's coming in 2018. So in that piece, typically your length, you want to be at about 500 to 750 words. So probably not as detailed, but it's good length. So that's kind of the requirements for the silo. Of course, you're doing everything with your.
And you would have say 5 to 8 links. You would link some out.
10 minutes for that call.
Okay. And then you would also link up.
Yeah.
To the pillar piece.
Yeah. So I was just about to get into that. So. Yeah, let's say this is your pillar piece and these are your supporting articles, right? Okay. So you want your pillar piece to link to each of these. So all that means is you have an internal link that goes to each of these articles, and then you want to link back up from each of your supporting articles. And I'll get into why this is important in a minute. And then preferably you want all of your links to go into your pillar piece.
So Leonard, from what I've been reading, and you
Yeah.
can correct me, I'm just asking a question.
Sure.
I've seen all the supporting pieces you want to link together,
Yeah.
and then they all want to link up to the pillar piece, but you don't want to link from the pillar piece back down. What is your thought
My
process
take is
on
that
that?
you actually want to link down.
Okay.
Because when you're doing your link building, you're usually going to use your pillar piece as your
The center. So you're doing a wheel and spoke model.
Right.
Okay.
So when you get all your backlinks to your pillar piece, it's going to flow down to your supporting articles.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So that way they have a good opportunity to rank as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So any questions there?
And it just depends on what your strategy is. So linking up would be you're trying to boost that one piece, but if you want the other ones to rank too, then you would give it some link juice from wherever else. So whatever it links to, it's gonna share some of the link juice, or it's gonna be boosted by other link juice that comes in. Does that make sense? So you only have so much of it. Do you want to keep it all, or do you want to share it? So you got to be thinking about that.
And I mean, you have to balance like the SEO side of it and then like the user side of it,
Yeah.
right? Because if you have a good article on a topic,
And you don't want to link to your other stuff, then
Yeah.
it's not a good user experience.
right. So it's always a balance there. Okay. So
Cool.
that's pretty much the content piece. Is there anything else?
No, I like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now you guys got this. Can I erase?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, we can talk about the outreach.
yeah, outreach.
Well, if you want to maybe talk a little bit about the overall broader strategy for what you think we should do with eWeb,
Okay.
and then if y'all want to stay for the outreach, you can. If not, y'all can take off. But maybe just like what are we going to try to do with eWeb overall? Like in your mind, what's the overall strategy that you want to build for
From an
eWeb?
SEO or
Yes, yeah.
overall? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there are several keywords that we're going after. We put them into groups. It's web design, online marketing, podcasting. What are some of the other ones?
There's a lot of like eWeb, like eWeb search, what is it? No, like online search, online marketing, online agency, SEO company, SEO agency, SEO companies. Like all these terms are very similar, but you're going to rank for one term and maybe